Students, now we will come down the same thing related to story perception. How to pick the picture and utilize it. That is the art we are trying to teach you. देखो ये कोई कलाकारी या कोई बेवकूफ बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस चीजों को समझने की जरूरत है और उसके बाद उसको इस्तेमाल करने की जरूरत। जितनी जल्दी सीख जाओगे बच्चों, उतना जल्दी तुम अच्छा करोगे. The moment you learn it smartly earlier, it will help you later. Because the moment you learn it later, then it will become too late a story. I always feel that as a teacher, the system of student and teacher goes very well. Wish the Indian government realizes that encouraging and the teachers genuinely, not these government teachers, they are not doing that fair job. Any teacher's job, and they give them good stature, I'm sure that the nation will develop. But nevertheless, sooner or later they will pick up that behind the prosperity of America or the other countries, it has been a teacher. But the tradition will never be complete of a teacher until and unless student learns from him. You will never learn, I am a failure. You learn, I am a hero. But I will stay here, you will multiply your status. You will become a bigger hero. So remember, try to understand what I am trying to teach you. What is the message you will learn and utilize it rightly. Is it clear? Now in this, you have got negative situation picture. This is your continuity, the ones which we have been teaching you, how to use the stories, how to read them, and thereafter utilize them rightly. So that you are sounding logical as well as doing something logical in all your stories. Is it clear? Okay, here we go to negative situation. Now what do you mean by negative? As I have told you earlier also, a picture, when you see it, it looks a positive situation, it looks a positive action, it looks a negative situation. It may be looking a negative action also. So we will talk of that and then you will learn something out of it. And thus you will get the variety of thoughts and healthy thoughts. And you will be able to filter your thoughts rightly. अच्छा इसमें ऐसा करना, इसमें ऐसा करना, क्योंकि variety तो होता है. You don't do variety, you do variety. You treat your parents differently, you treat your brothers differently, you treat your friends differently, you treat your teachers differently. So you are all rich with variety. So you should have the variety, because variety with logic becomes appropriate. What does it become? Appropriate. Is it clear? So let's go further. Negative situation picture. In this negative situation, see what is the picture showing? No vacancy and this person stand. Now the situation is difficult. If you get no vacancy means you are not getting a job, then what are you going to do? You're going to react how? That's exactly what is to be written here. That is how you are got to learn. You have to live in hope. So what will you say? That there was a boy, when he went for this, he got no vacancy, but he came to know that actually with this kind of job, there will be less vacancies are there. But he realized that if he does some additional courses, you know, many people are mechanical, electrical, but they have done computer science course because they have gone into computers. When the trend is of computers, people are making money out of making computer softwares. So that's exactly what it is. So he realized that, okay, I have to do this. He did this and he did a part-time job to manage that time. Some part-time daily jobs, you would get it. If you really want to work, everywhere it's open. So he went there, and thereafter, as a result of his hard work, he finally, next time with the additional qualification, he was able to get a job. Finish. There can be people who can write a story that there was a person, he had gone for a job, he didn't get it. Then he went for startup. Aajkal startup bahut sari government chala rahi. Then he decided to plan it properly, do it proactively, and thereafter make it successful. Right? This is the way it has to be done. The thing is to develop the thought. So we are here to give you ideas. I'm not going to write stories for you. All of you have to write yours. The girls also get, don't think that it's a boy, it can be taken as a girl. Maybe in your kind of situation, they will show you a lady or a girl. So you can write accordingly and you can write. It can also be an exercise by a person who is a good planner, he comes to know that employment is not coming, so he decides that they can regulate the society here and generate more employment. So you can write a story on that also. No issues. But relevantly write with your perspective, right? Now here there is a dead body lying and people crying. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to complete the rituals. You're supposed to handle the situation ahead. Now you're not going to lament or you're not going to kill yourself if you see a dead body. That dead body is a part and parcel of destiny, was to die, it's past. Now what? Do the rituals. So you can write a story in which there was a person, he had lost his father, he completed the rituals, he was very sad, but he decided that he's going to do it. Now that's what it is. Life is all about fighting back. There's nothing else in life. It's all about proving yourself, fighting back. Do it. Now, as I told you, I'm sorry, I think I didn't tell you, that in negative situation, you have to take the picture in the starting of the story. So that by the end of the story, you are on the positive side. Getting the point? Now, you cannot take this in the last part. You'll make a fatal mistake. If you use negative situation in the last part, what will happen? Like in the last picture, let me take you back so that let me open your mind. Right, in this case, if you say there was a boy, he worked very hard, when he went, there was no vacancy. What have you written? Negative story. You have no hope. Hope is life. Don't you study it? Behind the truck it is written, Aasha hi jeevan hai, buri nazar wale tera muh kala. Don't you read all those? They're very educative sentences. Anyway, so he will utilize it as a starting so that the end of the thing you can write it positively. Similarly, in this, if you take this as the last portion of the picture, you will make a big mistake. But if you take it as initial challenge and he fights back and makes it, there was a poor man, poor boy, but he never gave up. He remembered his father. His father had always said that work with full honesty, but work with dedication. Don't see day and night, particularly when you are young, and you will get cheap. Finally, a day came when he became a successful person. And he remembered his father's lessons, right? So you can write that. Now here again you are seeing a person, you are saying that there is a problem. Very clearly you are saying that there is a growth problem. A person is there's challenges. Take it as a challenge. Take it in the starting that initially there was, everybody was worried. He said not to worry, let's work some strategies. They worked upon this and they were able to improve their growth, right? Such a simple, beautiful idea. You can write it at a different styles, different way. Maybe you are in garment industry. There's a boy I know, his father is from garment industry and garment industry has suffered. Kapdon wali industry ne abhi haal mein kafi suffer kiya hai. So he decides to work up. Ab karna padega. We are also going online and offline. A lot of people used to earlier was there, but now we get good numbers, but not to that numbers. So why? We are also adapting. This is life. You have to adapt, evolve. Okay, got this point? So you can write a story? Yes. Any doubts in this? Yes, he was a manager. He found difficulty, but he never gave up. And then he finally planned a strategy and he was able to get back. That's the way you have to write. Now, negative situation. This looks like an earthquake. So what are you supposed to do? Start from that once there was an earthquake in so and so, immediately they reached there, they worked very hard, they saved everyone out of it, and finally they were very happy that except one person who died, many of them were rescued alive. Fine, good story. Yes, because you are seeing a dead person, so we have written that. Or maybe injured person. Yes, you can do that. Then we come down another situation. Here it's negative situation, very simple. There is a girl walking in the traffic area. Small girl. Can you see, all of you? So this is a negative situation. That means there is a problem. There was a boy who was watching this. He immediately acted. Proactive, this boy, proactive vision, he immediately jumped. Well before the drivers could not notice, because many times once I was sitting in the car and my driver was about to start and there was a girl, pitiless character, such a small, standing right in front. And from that window because suddenly she had come, so they couldn't see left and right, and she was standing right in middle. If you would have gone through, she would have become a dead case. Yes, we immediately stopped. Then we realized, and such a piddly character. So similarly, this girl will not be noticed. So you can write that so and so was crossing, so immediately acted, and then handed over back to mother. So simple. Now any other picture which you're going to write about some other farmer evolution doesn't fit here. The picture fits only of these kind of things which is seen. It can be decided as a road scene of different thing, but the best story can be saving the child because child is too small and in the middle of the traffic. Is it okay? So by the end of the story, you have saved the child, everything is okay. Here again, there is a person behind the bars. It can be a negative situation. It can be a negative situation that so and so was a very innocent person, but he was put behind the bars, and then he came out. He proved himself. Can be written, but you don't want to write that negative. You can become a police inspector, right? Here in this kind of negative situation, because it is looking like this, you cannot end it up here. So you can take it that the police officer took action and put him behind the bars and thereafter found out and solved the problem. Yes or no? No policeman is happy to put people behind the bar. They want to put the person behind the bar only to solve the problem, right? So there will be something more. You can write that story. Clear? You want to write CID story? You can write. Now we come down to a negative situation of somebody, a rope hanging, and as if. Now many people will think of suicide. Some people will think of decoration of birthday because you use the fan to put the balloon and burst it during the birthday. Am I right? Many of you do such decorations. Some may take it as some kind of architectural plan. Some may take it as negative also, but in a positive way. Now there is a boy sitting and writing, so you can take him as a person who was called to solve a murder case which was shown as a suicide. You remember Sushant Singh Rajput? The question is still there. Did he commit suicide or he was killed? So in that case, you can call a detective and solve the case and find out the person. Similarly, you want to write a journalist who wrote that he came to know very sadly that people did this. So he wrote an article in XYZ and this was published in the newspaper to inspire the youth and to educate them via the newspaper. You can do that. So there are different stories which will come into your mind and you can use it very rightly. You don't have to look at this, you have to think of solutions. Remember, life is full of problems. Every day there is some funny joker behaving in some funny way and you have to solve it. Why do these jokers create problems? Because they themselves think that they are the smartest people of the world. They never care for people who work hard. They only think of how to snatch away things, how to consolidate their thing, and they don't want to care. Now this is why capitalism became a problem. In capitalist class, if they would have not taken the major part, they would have taken a small part and given some and created, there would have never been a generation of communist theories and extreme theories there. So these kind of things are very common. Human mind is very dirty. They live a long, small life, but they want to live in such a greedy fashion that they want to kill the same person who works hard. Mind is mind, but this is how it is. So you can work up. Have you got the story? Now we go down to another negative situation. Here you can see a person drowning kind of thing, a person standing on the bridge, or whatever you want to write. So here, what will you do? In the starting you used it, so you will solve it and save it. Am I right? How? By throwing a rope, or using a tube, or using a wooden log, or taking the help of other people, or if you yourself know swimming and you want to help, and that also carefully, you can do that. Is it clear? So this situation will give you that idea. Now here there is a person and there is a crack on the bridge. Again, negative situation, the bridge is in problem. So what will you do? Celebrate, allow more traffic so that the bridge falls down? No, you will not do that. You will alert the people, you will stop the traffic, you will alert the engineers, and meanwhile try to create some alternative routes in case you want to become a district magistrate and solve it. You can do that. You want to become a police officer and solve it. You can do that. If you want to be, now don't start telling me that a college person and studying in just say 11th class or somebody studying in BA it's the whole solution. Make practical stories, please. Make practical stories. Make relevant stories. Yes, he can initiate, but he cannot do everything. Who will do the everything? The other officials which are empowered in this case. जो लोग ब्रिज बना सकते हैं उन्हीं से तो कराओगे. इंजीनियर बुलाना पड़ेगा ना ब्रिज का, हाईवे अथॉरिटीज. ओके, नाउ वी कम डाउन टू अनदर नेगेटिव सिचुएशन. ऐसा लग रहा है कोई जन बीमार है, पर्सन सिटिंग, सो कॉमन. योर सिस्टर इज इल, देन यू हेल्प. Yes, girls, they get their sister, another one ill, or whatever, or husband and wife is ill. You can write a story because after all you saw that mother and father thing also. So you can make your father the hero and write a story on that. Or you can say that your sister, whatever, in XY, then what will you do? You will take the necessary action. Now you will say, no sir, I am going to write a ultra story of cancer treatment in a unique fashion. Why? Why don't you want to write normal things? Why don't you want to talk normal things but with reasonable detail and healthy emotions and healthy actions, reflecting healthy qualities? That is the process. Be balanced. That is something, 11 of them. Hope you've got some ideas. So you learned that in situations have to be used and to be solved. Is it clear to all of you? Done? Thank you very much. Jai Hind.